Hello, amazing manifestors. I'm SJ and this is Infinite Fire Readings. Thank you so much for being here. This channel is about manifestation and guidance in order to manifest your dream reality. In order to manifest your dream reality into your life. So that is my aim and intention with these videos. I have a lot on my plate at the moment. I've got a mural, actually a couple of murals in the works, as well as an exhibition coming up. And I'm also doing a whole bunch of other side projects as well as producing this YouTube content for you. So it's been quite a full schedule for me. However, in order to keep up with these videos and make sure that I'm releasing at least one video a week, I've actually salvaged all of my All About Manifestation Patreon videos that I created for that tier, and I will be releasing these to you now. I've actually discontinued my Patreon, so not too many people had access to these at the time. I just didn't have enough time to invest into my Patreon to make it grow with everything else that I was doing on the side. And so yeah, I'm releasing them to my YouTube channel so that you can actually have access to these videos. My aim is that they benefit you and that you can follow the guidance that they give and take actionable steps to create the life that you desire. So I will leave them here with you now. And yeah, I'll release the first one following this little intro. This is the only intro I will do, and otherwise you're going to see a lot of videos coming up in the next few weeks of me back at my old place. So just keep a note, if they're from that place, they're from the past, though they are still all relevant tips and stories and bits and pieces for you to enjoy and ideally gain some nuggets of gold that can assist you with your manifestation journey as well. Have a wonderful space time. I'll catch you in the video. See you there. Hi, I am SJ and this is Infinite Fire Readings. Thank you so much for being here. I assist with manifestation and I do card readings as well to assist with this, in particular focusing on manifesting at this time. Today I wanted to actually talk about a success story of mine, which I think is going to be quite inspiring. I don't know why, I felt a bit nervous to talk about this one, but it's a really good one. So, it's how I manifested business class tickets, and I didn't even realize it until after the fact, though. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. For those of you wanting to manifest things like that, this might be of inspiration or assistance on your quest. It wasn't really anything that I specifically was desiring deeply to have business class tickets at all. It wasn't at all like that. I was actually traveling at the time when I manifested it with some friends. We'd had the amazing privilege of going to Bhutan and experiencing the culture and going on beautiful hiking trips around the area, which was a huge growth spurt for me as well at the time. And I'm so grateful for the experience and being able to have traveled with the people I was with. On the way back though, and we're all pretty exhausted at this point, I was definitely exhausted to say the least at this point. Just because it had been such a long trip, as amazing as it was. We were on our way back and the friends I were with at the time, I can't remember even how it came up because I talk about manifesting and this was before I got really in depth with it. But they were like, why don't you manifest business class tickets? And I was like, all right, and I have this thing I do, I click when I manifest, but I feel it when it happens. I'm like, it's happened. So I was like, I manifested business class tickets and I clicked and I felt it. I was like, I know it's happened. Anyway, did we get them on the plane? No, we didn't. And I remember being on the plane and my friend came up, he's like, hey, where are the business class tickets? And I was grumpy at the time. I was like, back off or something. I can't remember. I don't know. I was just not in a great mood. But yeah, I know I'd manifested them, but I didn't know where they were. So anyway, moving on. I won't go too much into the details. I don't want to get too detail oriented. But yeah, so manifested these tickets, didn't know where they were, completely forgot about it. Also didn't really have any resisting thoughts to it. I wasn't like, oh, it didn't work. I'm like, oh, I knew it worked. I just didn't know where they were. And then I just went away. Like it just wasn't a thought I put any energy into anymore. I guess that pathway being created. Anyway, 3 months later, so much had changed in that time as well for me. after that trip as well, and I'd grown so much from that experience, but I totally just wasn't even thinking about these business class tickets because life was just elsewhere and I wasn't traveling by plane. I had no intention to travel at the time, and I formed a really, really significant connection with my partner at the time, though we'd just gotten together, and they were going on a trip, and it was just like all the sparks and electricity, and it was all just really like oh my gosh, whoa, to get connected, yay. And it just felt really, really good. And they're like, come on this trip with me, But they basically said, please come on this trip, I'll get you tickets for you. And at the time, I didn't really have the funds available on me to invest in tickets. And they happened to book themselves business class tickets, and they're like, please come. I'm like, oh, and then everyone around me was like, go on this trip. Even work was like, go on this trip. So I was like, okay, I'll go. I had about 24 hours to make this decision. They booked in flights. I think there was like I don't know, there happened to be availability, and they booked in these tickets so that I could fly with them. And we flew. We actually ended up going to Japan. It was very beautiful, amazing. I was only there for 4 days because of the craziness of everything. And it was just so amazing. I have to absolutely go back because I pretty much did the touristy experience. I didn't get to, but only in the city pocket. Yeah, so flew there and back. I came back separately, though they paid for those tickets as well, which is very, very generous as well, and super grateful. It was such an incredible experience as well, business class. With that airline, though. Yeah, I realized later, I was like, oh shit, like that was my business class tickets that I manifested, and I had no intention of getting those tickets or anything like that, from this person. Like at the time there wasn't like, oh well, they're going on take me with you or whatever. It wasn't like that at all. It just happened, and it happened so organically and so naturally. And yeah, I just wanted to share that. So it was about 3 months later. So I feel like I've just gone on a ramble. I do this with my stories, but I get nervous. So that was something I manifested without even really meaning to or caring too much. I honestly didn't care that much about these business class tickets when I manifested them. I was like, it's done, don't know where they are, cool. 3 months later, boom, got them. So that was like a one-off intention with no resistance behind it. So I think, when we are persisting in our affirmations, we are genuinely persisting in them to release resistance, to remove resistance. And sometimes that can take a bit of mental work, and it can take a bit of moving through our comfort zones, especially if we've got all these stories built up as to why this thing can't occur. I just didn't have any attachment to why it couldn't occur. I was just like, yeah, fucking manifest that. Cool. I didn't care if we flew business class or not, which is interesting. I didn't give any fucks if we flew business class or not on the way back. So I manifested business class tickets. I just didn't manifest it for that trip. Maybe that's also why I'm nervous about it, because if those friends see this, and they'll be like, excuse me? Why didn't you do it for our trip? No, I totally joke. But anyway, that's how I got my business class tickets as a manifestation. So to sum it all up, and again, I wasn't telling it, I just wanted to tell it about that example of manifestation. It was really an objective or subjective example of this really easy manifestation that took 3 months to come in. Yeah, so I affirmed it once and I knew it was done. So I think that's powerful. I knew it was done. I didn't question it. I didn't question it at all. I let it go because I didn't care about it. But in doing that, it wasn't like I let it go and was as in like, oh, well, it's not going to happen. I just let it go as in I didn't think about it in any other way. The only way I'd thought about it was, I've done it. Don't know where it is, but I've done it. And then I just forgot about it because I didn't care if we flew business class or not. I didn't really care. I think my friend cared. And then, yeah, it showed up 3 months later in a really organic way. again, like maybe, you know, if you're manifesting something and you want it a bit quicker than that, this may not be the success story for you. However, considering I affirmed it once and then like pretty much released it, let it go. I mean, maybe I spoke about it here and there, like I know I've manifested those business class tickets, don't know where they are, but they'll show up. I might have actually spoken to a couple of people about it because I remember it being, I don't know, but there was no, it hasn't worked. I knew it had worked, but I just didn't care about it. I was like, whatever. I have other things I'm doing with my life. I have other things I want to do with my life. So yeah. And then it did. It showed up really naturally, organically, and beautifully. And I honestly couldn't have asked for better business class tickets in every way, shape, and form, because it was an amazing flight. Usually I get really nervous on planes, so being there with my partner was keeping me really calm. It was just a wonderful flight in as well. Lots of amazing conversations happened that really just lifted up my heart. And on the way back, because I was on my own, I was just watching movies and doing my best to affirm and practice being calm on landing. So it was all really good, and I was just complete luxury. Gosh, I mean, you hit a button and they came and served you chocolates like one by one. Like, it was just amazing. Yeah, it was really, really cool. It was a really beautiful experience. So, all right, I've waffled on enough about that, or rambled on, or whatever you want to call it. But it was a really incredible manifestation. Wanted to share it with you. It is absolutely possible. I think having the resistance is the thing that can be the limiting part. So really a lot of manifesting is eliminating resistance, I think, is eliminating that and just going forward anyway. Persistence through resistance. Oh, I like that. Persistence through resistance is a good one. Not that this story is really about that, because I didn't have any resistance, so it made it easy for it to come in. Though in a lot of instances it can be about persisting through resistance anyway. So, all right, that'll do. That's that story of the plane ticket business class manifestation that I wanted to share. We'll see if I release it. I don't know if I'll release it straight away. See how it goes. Okay. That's been the reading for the day, the video for the day. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, subscribe as well. And yeah, you can also check out the Facebook group also. Yeah, have a wonderful space time wherever you are, and I will catch you in your next video reading. Bye.